Hello everybody. Welcome to this channel, and if you are not a subscriber to this channel, I invite you to subscribe, and this way we can see each other more often. In this video we will talk about Poland's recent statements that it is ready to receive nuclear weapons. For a nation to be recognized as a full nuclear power, having nuclear weapons in its possession is just the first in a long series of steps. In addition to having this type of weapon, the candidate for full nuclear power needs to have the means to launch them against their enemies, which includes short, medium and long-range ballistic missiles. But there is also a very important additional step, which is the ability to launch these weapons through various means. If a country with nuclear weapons only has the ability to launch these weapons from land-based platforms, such as silos or mobile launchers, a large surprise nuclear attack by the enemy could neutralize all, or at least a large portion, of these assets. Therefore, it is important that these weapons can be launched by other vectors, such as fighters, bombers and what is seen as the stealthiest and most lethal means of all, submarines. Of the 9 nuclear powers that exist, 5 are capable of launching their weapons from land, air and sea. They are China, India, Russia, the United States and Israel, members of the Nuclear Triad Club. In the specific case of the United States, there is also an extra element of nuclear deterrence, known as nuclear sharing. As everyone knows, the United States is part of NATO, a military alliance with 32 members, only 3 of which are nuclear powers, with the other 2, France and the United Kingdom, with comparatively much more discreet nuclear arsenals. With the French arsenal estimated at 290 warheads, and the British arsenal estimated at 225. This means that much of the responsibility for the alliance's nuclear umbrella falls solely on the United States, leaving many important allies without nuclear weapons, which as we know, are essential to deterrence. And it was with this in mind that during the Cold War, NATO began the nuclear sharing program, with the United States delivering nuclear weapons to the alliance's non-nuclear allies. According to the latest information available in 2021, the United States distributed 100 nuclear warheads across Europe, with Belgium receiving 20, hosted at the Kleinbrogel base, Germany with 20 warheads at the Buchel base. Italy has 40, with 20 at the Aviano base and another 20 at the Gad base, with the Netherlands hosting 20 at the Focau base, and Turkey with 20 in Incirlik. In times of peace, all of these warheads are guarded by armed military personnel from the United States Air Force, with each country responsible for providing adequate space and infrastructure so that they can be stored in complete safety. Activation codes, essential for weapons to be used, are always in the possession of the United States, with all of this falling under the custody and control of the United States Air Force Munitions Support Squadrons. In the event of war, each host country is responsible for arming its fighters with these warheads, with the use of these weapons being dictated by secret NATO policies that determine how and when they can be used. In an extreme scenario of total nuclear war, the United States activates the warheads through its secret codes, and each country receives a set of targets that must be hit and destroyed by their respective warheads. The warheads in question are the B-61 bombs, a type of bomb that began to be produced in 1963 and is currently in its 12th version. Initially, the bomb's power reached 340 kilotons, but today, all 100 B-61 warheads spread across Europe have a power of 50 kilotons, equivalent to 3.5 times the power of the bomb that devastated Hiroshima. It is, as I mentioned a moment ago, an extra form of nuclear deterrence, a kind of additional guarantee that each country has, even non-nuclear powers, such as Belgium, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands and Turkey. Now, in 2024, with tensions in Europe reaching dangerously high levels, with Russia constantly threatening to use its nuclear weapons against the West, some non-nuclear nations are rethinking their policies surrounding this type of weapon, notably Poland. In recent years, and especially after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the Poles are investing heavily in their defense, with the country investing almost 4% of its GDP in this important sector. Poland, which lived for decades under the oppression of Soviet Russia, knows the danger that an aggressive and expansionist Russia poses to Europe and the rest of the world, and that's why the Poles are investing so much in their defense. But despite all this investment, Poland lacks the ultimate deterrent to nuclear weapons, and it was with a view to changing this that this Monday, April 22, the President of Poland, Andrzej Duda, during an interview, said that his country is ready to receive nuclear weapons within the scope of the NATO nuclear sharing program. President Duda said that the main motivation for this is the strong militarization of Kaliningrad, a Russian slave that borders Poland, also citing the recent delivery of Russian nuclear weapons to Belarus, with which Poland also shares a border. For the Polish president, if two enemy and neighboring territories have nuclear weapons, Poland must also have them. The best way to deploy these weapons in the event of war is through stealth fighters like the F-35. And in fact, of all the countries harboring nuclear weapons under this program, only Turkey does not plan to operate F-35 fighters anytime soon, with Poland about to start receiving its first F-35 fighters. With tensions rapidly rising in Europe and Russia increasingly aggressive, Poland knows that the only truly effective means of stopping Putin's expansionist momentum are nuclear weapons. This is today's video. Thanks for watching. Press the like button and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.